those who don't know me, my name is Jessica. Thank you so much for stopping by my video. We are here in my room. You can see dog 1 and dog number 2 are right behind me. They didn't want to be outside with Papa. So we are here just filming a quick little video. It is Saturday afternoon, January 2nd. And Happy New Year, by the way. Happy New Year to everyone. I'm sure you are just as excited as I am for 2020 being over and starting this new year. And this is basically what the video is going to be about. Just talking a little bit about this past year, some things that went well, some things that didn't, and goals that I want to set for this upcoming year. While we chat, I will be playing with a little makeup. Some of this stuff is new that I've gotten for myself or other people have gotten for me over the holidays. But I'm just going to do something very simple because I am not leaving the house. If you like this kind of video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I will appreciate your support, and please comment down below of anything that we discuss, and I would love to hear your thoughts about how this past year went and what aspirations, what goals have you set for yourself in this new year. I'm gonna first start off by putting back this hair. I really don't wear my hair curly very often, but I kind of like it, but my hair is starting to grow, which is cool because I've had my hair short for a very long time. I would cut it short just because I thought it was easier to deal with. So first we're gonna start off with this Profusion Cosmetics Feel Good Skin Longwear Skin Perfector. This actually, I got this at Walmart. I think it was like no more than 10 bucks. And I like it. I actually think it's very easy. And I love how it kind of like neutralizes my tone. If you can see, I have like red. I even have like red here around my mustache area. You know, your girl was doing a little grooming and I guess my skin didn't like it. It does have pretty good coverage. It does say here on the bottle, medium to full. I don't know about full because I can still see some things, but it definitely does cover a bit. Let's chat about 2020. Well, I know I'm not alone in this, that it definitely was a very interesting year. We were all just thrown into something that none of us had been a part of before. None of us knew how to deal or handle. First off, you know, both John and I, on both sides of our family, we had losses. We, specifically with John lost his mom to cancer, and that was a big blow to the family. My great aunt, she was suffering from dementia, but you know, she was doing her best at her home, but it just turned for the worse and she ended up passing away as well this year. I think having lost anyone during this year, on top of what was going on over the world, I can only imagine the amount of added stress and anger that someone could have, you know, felt, especially during this time. Something else that was a bit of a disappointment this year for both John and I was our wedding. So we were supposed to get married on November 27th. Thanksgiving was, or is, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. That is definitely my favorite, and Christmas is John's. So we had picked November 27th because it was the Friday after Thanksgiving. And so I was like, oh, that's perfect. We could pick a date that's in between two of our holidays. And it would be a great time to celebrate with family during the holiday, but then have a wedding. It was set to be in Austin. We moved here in June. And I would definitely say that was one highlight of this year, was us just making the move from Miami to Austin, and both of us getting great jobs and really liking where we live and exploring what's around us. Back to the wedding, we were ready for November 27th. It was, you know, moving along, and unfortunately, you know, John's mom got sick, so we had decided to postpone first, but then ultimately we just decided to cancel the wedding. It was at first very devastating. I don't think I handled it very well at the beginning. So I remember it was one day, right when we kind of decided. That very next day, I was just not in the best mood. I was sad. I didn't want to speak to anyone, not even John. And I was just sad, you know, like obviously I think about it now, and I'm sure as you're hearing this from me, you're probably like, really, like weddings, that's There was a lot more going on in the world than just a wedding. And I completely agree with you. In hindsight, it is not that deep. And many people don't even have weddings. Many people just get married, and that's fine. You know, I was just disappointed that we couldn't get exactly what we wanted. But, you know, in hindsight, I think now it's just, there are other things that matter more. And it was okay for me to be upset, but, you know, at the same time, it was best that I moved on from it and just be grateful that, you know, we have a great marriage and we have a great relationship, and that we have people who support us no matter what. Okay, so I've been very bad at not really telling you exactly what I've been using. So I used a Profusion. My concealer, I used a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I remember getting this years ago, right when I started getting into YouTube or watching YouTube. This was a concealer that some of the people I watched talked about. And I remember liking it back then. I hadn't bought it in a while. I'm not sure why, but I'm so glad I bought it again because I think this is such a great concealer. It's cheap, it's simple, it blends in very easily, and it's just no fuss. So definitely a good one. Then I have this new Milani blush. It's a cream blush. It's called the Cheek Kiss blushes that they came out with. This one's called Nude Kiss. Neutral pink type of color. I really like this one too. One thing I do have to be careful with this blush, if you notice, I've been kind of like pouncing my face a little bit more. Notice how the color kind of goes on, so you got to be very careful. However though, when you blend it out, it kind of just melts into the skin, which is pretty nice. I like to put blush kind of like in this area. I've seen some people do that, and I don't know, I think it makes my face look alive. Looks like it has color. Another event that happened this past year was the decision for me not to continue to pursue my doctorate degree. For those who don't know, school was or has been a very important part of my identity, my life. I did well in school. I liked school. After high school, did my graduate, and then right after my graduate, maybe about a half a year after, I went straight into my master's degree when I was in Miami. After that, maybe took less than a year or maybe a year after that to do my specialist. And then after, I started to pursue my doctorate degree at FIU, when I was still in Miami. So I got up until the dissertation phase. So I passed my comps. I had our IRB approval, which for those who don't know, that just means that my research study was approved by the university for me to conduct. I can remember this past year that it was more in the earlier stages of the year that I know it's hard to explain. Like when I first spoke it into existence that I was considering stopping and not really pursuing this anymore, it was hard. I don't know, I felt sometimes I felt that I was maybe quitting. I was not putting in my full potential, but then other times I just like it just wasn't what was making me happy. And I think that was ultimately why I made the decision that I made, is that school was no longer making me happy like it used to. And I felt like it was just more of a chore, and I had to think about why. Like, why was I still doing this? What was I doing this for? And I couldn't, and if I'm being very honest, I really couldn't remember or think of why I wanted to pursue this anymore. It was a difficult decision. I remember also crying about it because, again, it was like kind of like mourning like a part of you that you thought was like, you know, such a big part of you, and for you to kind of walk away from it, or for you to say that, okay, I'm done with this chapter. That was hard. It was hard for me to kind of swallow that. But since that decision, I have been happier. I officially have 4 degrees. And I'm sure, like, if, you know, to say that I was able to accomplish 4 degrees in my lifetime is, I think, amazing. And at my age, yes, I didn't get to the very top one, but I'm still very proud of what I've accomplished. I'm proud of what I've learned along the way when it came to school. But now I'm just excited to still learn, but learn in different ways. I'm all about learning new things and becoming a different person and continuing to evolve. But I know you can do that through other venues except school, other than school. So just for a little bit of bronzer, just a little bit, I'm gonna use this Hoola. So this is a Benefit cheek palette, and it has a lot of their hits. So I'm gonna take the Hoola bronzer and brush the sides of my face, my forehead. Nothing too crazy. Now let's talk about a little bit of good, shall we? So as I mentioned, you know, I'm still grateful for what I was given this past year. Like I said, moving to Austin was great, and I think so far we love where we live, the area that we live in. It's nice, it's quiet, there's a lot of nature, there's a lot of trees and stuff around where I live, which is great. I did not get that in Miami. And the school that I work at, I work for a KIPP school here in Austin, and it's a great school, great staff, amazing principal, the kids are great. It's been challenging. It has been challenging teaching during a pandemic, I will say that. So I'm gonna put a little of this Maybelline Tattoo Studio eye pomade on, just a little bit to kind of shape my eyebrows a bit. I got this palette. I got the Sultry Palette by Anastasia, Beverly Hills. And this was the one palette that I actually was very interested in getting. I thought from all of the ones that came out that this was one that I could see myself using because it was very neutral. But then they stopped selling it, but then they brought it back out for this holiday as a set with the mascara and an eyeliner, and I jumped on it because I really wanted this palette. So I'm taking Fresh and just kind of putting it all over my lid. Oh, I forgot to mention, I used this Milani eyeshadow primer beforehand. It's definitely a great eyeshadow primer. All right, so then let's see here. I'm gonna take that color Birch. It's like a brownish, yellowish, I don't know, color. I'm gonna put that on my crease. I'm gonna start from the corner and work my way in. Like I was saying, I'm just grateful that we got married and things have been going very well. I feel like this move has brought us closer together, which is great. And I'm just excited to continue to build our family together with the dogs. Hopefully one day a baby. Happy that we were able to stay healthy so far during this pandemic. I'm next gonna go in with, since it's gonna be a very simple look, I'm probably gonna do like one more color and that's it. So I think because it's like a light, I'm gonna do a little bit of this Dystopian. That's like a dark brown color there. Now, things that I want to do moving into 2021. I don't know if anyone here has ever done that one word thing where, you know, you pick a word for the year for it to be your theme, I guess, or your mantra. I know people who do it, and I've heard like how they do it and why, but I've never done it myself. But I decided that this year it might be cool to actually do it.
She needs an apple. And then she's got her whole setup.
Ooh. The word that I decided for this year that I really want to focus on is elevate. Formal definition of elevate is to raise to a higher level or to raise to a more impressive level. Go deeper into my career and really setting myself up at in Austin. I want to do better with my health, with my body, with my mental health. All right, so I think that's enough for the eyeshadow. I used Dystopian a little bit on the side, but then I kind of blended it in. Then I went back into Birch just to kind of, you know, blend the crease a little bit more. I've realized that for me, in my eye shape, if I put a little dark, just a little dark eyeshadow on the corners, just a smidge, even if it's like an eyeliner, it just kind of makes my eyes pop a little bit more and opens them up a little bit more, which is cool. Health-wise, I haven't really worked out in a very long time, and I can't even blame the pandemic for that. Even before the pandemic happened, I was not working out. I love how Facebook, they'll give you these, you know, memories every so often. It's nice. But lately, my Facebook has been giving me all the posts that I was posting maybe 3 or 4 years ago of me going to Orange Theory. So at one point, I was going all the time. I was being very consistent, so I would always check in on my Facebook. So my Facebook has reminded me that years ago, I was really into it. I want to eat better. I don't think I eat too terribly now, but I can always be better. Drink more water, right? That's all good things. I just took a little bit of that Dystopian again with the brush that the palette came with and just kind of lined it at the bottom. Just a smidge. I don't like putting too much on my bottom because I feel like it just makes it look weird. It looks like raccoon eyes a little bit when I put too much on the bottom. A hobby that I am committing to getting back into this year is dancing. I used to dance all the time. I grew up dancing, and not only is it a great physical activity for exercise wise, but it's just so much fun. And I remember being the happiest when I was on stage and just dancing. I really want to get back into that, whether it's going to classes, virtual classes, or just starting to make up my own choreography again. I want to do that. I'm excited to do that. So I look forward to all the new creations that will come, but because it just makes me happy. And that is another thing I really want to do this year, is to do things that make me happy. I am using the Anastasia, Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara. So this mascara came with the palette as a set. Take the spoolie and brush out my lashes a bit. This is one thing that I can't stand. So on this eyelash, notice how they just kind of flutter, but then this one, it's all chunky. And I feel like I put the same amount, but I don't know. I feel like the makeup of my eyelashes are different. Like my right one, nice. It comes out wonderful most of the time. But this left one, man, they just clump more, and I have to like finagle this side more. Look at that. Yep. If anyone knows, please tell me. Like, does anyone else have this problem where one eyelash cooperates while the other one doesn't? Like, please tell me. Now let's put a little bit of, actually I forgot to put this brow gel on. I like this brow gel because it's simple, it has little fibers in it. This is an e.l.f. one. I do want to try another one because I did notice that this doesn't hold as well. Like, yes, it gives me shape and the little fibers put a little more like volume in my eyebrows, but it really doesn't stay. This is from Nudestix. It is the color Purity. Okay, let's let this mane out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you found anything of what I said helpful. I hope that you watching this video at least kind of sparks a conversation within yourself or thoughts within yourself about what is that you want to try to accomplish this year. I think out of all the things that I want to do this year, one of my biggest ones is this channel. I watch YouTube, and there's certain women and people that I watch that I just enjoy listening to them because they're just so personable, and they give great advice, and they're funny, and they just have a great insight into life and an outlook on it. And that's exactly what I want to do. Not only is it fun and I learn things, I just feel inspired by the people that I watch on YouTube. So I want to do the same. I started this channel about a year ago, and I've done maybe a handful of videos so far, and there's just been a lot of space in between all those videos, and life, work, things got in the way. But I really want to dedicate more of myself and more of my attention and more of my energy into this. I really want to see where this can go. I'm not looking for this to be this massive platform. I want it to be fun, and I want to just bring joy in some way through this channel. I think we're done here. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up before you head out. Comment down below with any ideas or any resolutions or insights that you have for 2021. I will see you all very soon. Bye.